Welcome back to yet another episode of Rusted Up Garage. First, I want to say thank you for all of you who have been subscribing and liking to our videos. Now, I know that we haven't been consistent. I got like 2 jobs, and this is my busy time of year. I mean, it's just for both jobs. So this has been taking a little bit of a back seat, but don't worry, within a month or 2, we're gonna be completely back to normal. But we don't have a month or 2 to get all of our stuff ready, okay? So we decided we were gonna bring you a little bit of wagon content, because this thing really is, I mean, her next trip we're hoping is take her to sick week, beginning of next year. So we're thinking what we gotta do to, get her better. Well, we have a wagon with side pipes. And what is more American than a wagon with side pipes? You know. It's a wagon with side pipes and a bug catcher. Oh yeah, coming through the hood. Yeah, that is more American, okay? So what we decided to do is we're gonna take this perfectly good green hood and we're gonna cut a hole in the middle of it to install this guy. Now you're thinking, Ricky, why would you cut up a perfect good hood to put that through? Because it's American. We've been over this. It's American, okay? American. That, and we got some pretty good plans for this old girl, okay? Now, we're not putting a supercharger on. I can't afford it. I'm laying it right out right now. I can't afford it, okay? So, unless one of you guys want to send me one, it's not getting it. But we are building a new motor for it, okay? What are you building, Ricky? I'll tell you what I'm building. I'm building a big cubic inch small block. 427 small block. Why? Because I can. Everyone builds LSs. Everyone does big blocks. No one's putting a 427 small block together. So I'll do it. So when we do that, this will be a lot taller. It's gonna have a different intake and stuff. So to make this work for now, because we just kind of want to get it done, and we have some car shows to go to this fall, we're just gonna do it in a deck plate. We're gonna get it out. Now there's some other big things coming for this car too. Okay, I'm just saying you guys are gonna want to hold on, because I mean, from what I've seen, there's gonna be some pretty crazy stuff coming for this car, and within the next couple months. I'm not sure what that is over there. Let's just say this car is probably going to get a little more American. Okay? It's going to get a little more American. What's behind me? But I ain't going to give that away. You're going to have to wait. You're going to have to wait for future episodes to find out what else we have in store for this car. Okay? But I think I've blabbered the old blabbers enough. I like to talk to you guys for a few minutes and with my hands and stuff. And, we've been doing all kinds of stuff. 55 engines done. Smart car still in 400 pieces. Zach's big block. That's going on the dyno. Oh, yeah. Dyno day! But for tonight, I think we just need to get to cutting some holes in this beast, so we can put this thing on, so it'll go brum, brum, like that. That's what it's gonna do. So you guys hold on, because here it comes. Okay, so on any good install, first things first, we gotta remove on the hood. So we're gonna lift it up. We're gonna remove on it. carburetor right off this thing. And the reason why I'm going to do that is for two reasons. First reason is just to get it out of the way. Second reason is so I can change the studs out. So we're going to pull a fuel line off. We don't need that right now. Then we're going to need to unbolt a few more things out here. That vacuum line, baby. No, it's just tight. You gotta get it off when the carburetor's off. You don't remember from the 847 times we've taken the same carburetor. So we've had the carburetor off how many times on this?
We get the throttle off too.
Yeah, I did that.
All this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe you want to take it back. Maybe. I don't want to. Totally nap time. Stop moving it. The trick is, once you pull the carburetor off, is you drop the bolts that you're working with down the hole. And start it. Mm-hmm. What that does is it helps clean the carbon out of the piston holes. Now we'll bring you over to the bug catcher in a minute because, like all things, I think there's a washer on that. All right, Trent. Like all things that I buy, as you guys know, I gotta modify it. Because I just can't buy something new and have it bolt on to something I have. It don't ever work. I don't know why it don't, it just don't. It feels like kind of a bolt. Almost like it's full. Now what I did do is I went and drained my carburetor out in a EPA approved container, so there weren't no fuel in it, so I could, do my stuff I gotta do. So Zach's over here working diligently, getting them carburetor studs out. Because when we put a carburetor spacer on here, we need, longer bolts. These are too short.
So those that don't know how to take studs out, put two nuts together and then turn the bottom nut.
The stud will.
Yeah, come right on out.
Now we have two different length studs. I got some short ones and I got some long ones. The reason why I got two different lengths, I'll show you here in just a few minutes. But there was a reason for it. Another thing too is I'm just, going ahead and putting a little bit of never sees on these where they're threading into that aluminum. The only problem with never sees is once you break her out, you pretty much are going to wear it the rest of the night. You're probably going to look like the Tin Man before you're done. Now tighten these back up. I'm just going to use a pair of vice strips.
Not on the frets.
That's the tool I just choose to go to. I like vice strips.
Sometimes if you get fancy stuff, they have like an Allen or a flat in the top, which makes it a whole lot easier to put them in and take them out. These ones don't.
And you don't get them crazy tight, just snug.
We're not torquing the heads on.
Now we'll get a gaskets out and get that carburetor spacer. So I went with the 2-inch model just because I knew it would really, increase my bottom end torque. Okay? So now the carburetor can go back on. And then we got to do some modifying. So what we're thinking is we might actually have to space this up a little bit to get enough height, because the new engine's gonna have a taller intake. So what we'll do is we'll get it on here, and that'll at least let me start measuring the hood and getting that process done. Okay, so now this thing goes on, kind of like this, and then you slide it back like that. And then Zach tries to get a bolt on where he can. You can't tell me the coolest. I mean, look, yeah, that's what I thought. Coolness just went up like a bunch. Okay, we've moved from the front to the back. So here's what's going on. Now, this carburetor is not what's going to stay on here. Obviously, we're going fuel injection. No, we're not going with a sniper. We've been there, we've done that. We did the road trip. You guys remember it. Hot Rod Power Tour, 2022. You remember? Remember the carburetor swap? If not, go back and watch it. Good times. So we have this QFT carburetor that's on it currently. And we're going to be putting a Terminator on it. But we need to get this just a little bit higher, okay? A little higher. So I have this really cool bracket here which fits everything but this carburetor. And it pretty much hits the choke housings right here. Just hits everything. I can't quite get it down enough. So I'm gonna take a little grinder here and I'm gonna take a little bit of meat out of the sides of this sucker. I'm gonna grind that down and get it a little bit lower so I can get it in there. And then my next problem, of course I always have, you know me, I gotta modify everything new. So here's the plate that comes with it. This is what bolts to the bottom of these. Like this, see? Bolts on like that. This is pretty much the support for the whole unit. That's what this is. Well, here's the problem. Put it on the spacer here, and it's like that. Look, it's I'm over here because the lighting's better. See, look. Now when it sits on the carburetor, it ain't bad because it fits over it. See what I mean? It's decent. Over this,
That's because if you look here,
but it's because it's conical.
and then this here is stepped this way, but if you look at a carburetor, see, it's stepped the other way.
So I have this. Okay. And this, you know, would fit over this, except for it's a double pumper. There we go. So this fits over it like this. But we need it to be up like this, right? Okay. So we have the spacer. This, on the other hand, will tap on this nice and tight. So I can beat that on. Well, this don't look like this. Unless I do this. And put this over this like this. See? Just like this. There's almost enough meat. I'm only missing a little ear on both sides. So I can draw this out. Make a picture. And cut this baby out. And again, modifying new parts. It's what I do. I don't know why. It's what happens. It's what happens to me. I just can't seem to not do it.
So are you ever going to have a vehicle that you don't have to hack up new parts?
No. No. I have nothing that ever just bolts on in my life. Nothing. Now what I'm hunting for is the little Dremel thing with the little bird on it, my burn thing. So I guess step one I'm going to do is I'm going to get this in here. We're going to get this modified to fit over this. Step one. Step two, we're going to draw a picture on this because we like arts and crafts. Remember, we're all about arts and crafts on this channel. It's not that size. Now let's see here. So we made a nice little, relief. That's what we're gonna call that. For the choke. And look at that, she fits right on there now. Oh, there's tons of room for that choke. Yeah, see, that's all I needed. Look. Plenty of room. Everything sits perfect. You know, sometimes you just gotta modify a few parts. So, modifying step 1, done. Now, we're gonna put you down for a minute, and I'm gonna blow this off, and we're gonna prep up for part deuce. Okay, now that we got that done, we're gonna go to arts and crafts. So we have our original plate, right? And we have this air cleaner. So, we want to use the air cleaner. So we're gonna put this on here and get it as close as center as we can. Just like that. While utilizing as much of this as I can. It's pretty much right there. Now, just take out our pen here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut it big here, and then I'll flatten it out with a hammer, and then we'll trim it in. Now the other thing we're gonna do is these are slots because it's made for multiple applications. Just not our application, obviously, by the modifications we're doing. So what we're gonna do is marking where we need to drill it, and we're just going to drill a hole. We're not going to do slots. It'll just be one thing. So I guess I got to fire up the old wizard wheel again and just give this sucker a cut. And wizard wheel's my friend. We're going to go through some wizard wheels, I feel. We even got to the best part. Yeah, cutting a big hole in the hood. That's all I've really been wanting to do the whole day, the whole night. I mean, I was at work thinking today, I can't wait until I get home from work. I want to cut a hole in the hood. It's probably going to have to wait until tomorrow night now. I don't know. Maybe I'll get up early before work and do it. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe I'll do it tonight. I don't think we need this anymore. Okay, that back corner needs to go forward just a little bit, and this one needs to go forward just a little bit. Everything else is perfect. That's actually perfect right there. Yeah. Yep. Okay. So what we're gonna do is just make this the front. Yeah. mean, we haven't done that stuff yet. We'll get to that, okay? I'm really excited about cutting a hole. Okay, I told you that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some measurements here. So we know from the center right here to this sucker right now, I'm 27 inches. And I got a gap of at least 1/4 of an inch. And I probably about 1/2 of an inch from that. So I'm thinking probably we want 3/4 of an inch. Should be fine. Actually, it is almost 26 3/4. If I go right here to the point, I'm pretty much 26 3/4 right there. So we're gonna call it 26 is what we want. So from the point right here, we're gonna go back to 26. Okay. That's what we want it to be at, 26 right here. Okay. Now, the other thing we gotta do is we gotta figure out how to get this sucker square on the hood. So obviously this is not 26. So what we need to do is we need to create a square up to here. So I'm gonna come off from this corner, right? And I think I'm gonna use
Really, just any arbitrary number works.
1. Okay. And then I'm gonna come on this side over here, and I'm gonna use 20. Let me get Zach to hold this on this side. You're gonna go there.
This might get a little bad for them.
Huh?
I'm on the bottom of the line.
A little bit. Okay. That should get us square, right? So now we can come off from this right here. And that to that is 3 3/8. Okay. So we're gonna go 3 3/8 right here. Then we're gonna go 3 3/8 right here. And we're gonna do that right there. So that gets us our front, right?
We'll go with that.
We're gonna go with that, right? Okay. Now, I'm gonna bump this here to here, and that's 25 inches, right there. Okay. Now we know it's pretty square because we just measured this tape line. So we know it's straight, we've looked at it, it looks really close. So, we know that's at 25 there. So we want to be back, we know we have a 1/4 of an inch there. So I would probably dare say, we probably want to be close to 24 1/4 on this. We'll probably be safe. Again, we can always cut twice. So, at 4 inches, 25 is tight. So we want to be at 24 1/4 at 4 inches. So we're just going to cut here, and we're going to go 4 inches. And then we're going to go 24, what did I say, 1/4?
Yes.
24 1/4. Right where I want to be for that side. Okay? This side,
You want to measure your 4 inches.
You really need to be out to here on this one.
Yes, because you got to get around the throttle linkage.
So that's at 25 3/4. So I really want to be at 25 on this side. Make sense? Makes sense to me. I don't know. I've never done this. 4 inches. We want to be at what?
25.
25 is what I said?
Yes.
25. Okay. Now the other thing too is we know we're going to be about 3/4 off from this. So for about 6 inches of this, it runs straight. And then it starts cuffing in. So we're going to want to be about 6 inches here. So I'm thinking about 6 inches. And I want this to be straight off from this line. So what we're going to do is we're going to come off from this to here. And we're going to go 6 inches to there. Okay?
And it's the same thing on this side.
Six inches. Off from this right here and square it. Okay? Now the other thing too is we're going to curl these. We're going to curve these. I'm going to cut that with a hole saw first. Or whatever. Now, we're going to eyeball it. And again, we're going to come off from probably off from the same tape mark, I would say. Let's go 23 inches. 23 inches. We're going to go right to the end here. So I'm at 27 1/4. And if we go with what we've been doing at 3/4, that's 26 1/2. So 23. What, 26 1/2. And this right here is at 29, so it would be 28 1/4. 23. By 28 1/4. Okay. Now,
Really need to know how deep.
now what we gotta do is we're gonna come from our tape mark. Okay. Everything we've been doing is off from the tape mark. No. I almost want to come from the point of the hood and come up by all this. So I want you to get me that number right there.
Yeah, but that's crooked. And
Yeah, but we're going big. Remember back here? Because the thing's going to come ahead. So I'm at 47 right there. So I almost need to be probably 48 for the back.
on this side. Because the thing's crooked in your car. So I'm hooked.
48. Okay. So now, get me that minute, hold it right there. And we are 25 1/4 right there. So now come over here. There you go, right there. 25 1/4. And over here, 25 and a quarter. Okay, I'll grab my tape. Oh, I'm sorry, the battery exhausted. Okay. I know that looks weird. But this is showing that 2 inches we're seeing across the back of the hood.
Yes.
That 2 inches off.
Mm-hmm. But how off is the front? Not
About
2
an
inch. Yeah. It's like the thing is molded crooked. Like it's not symmetrical.
Well, the engine's in crooked.
Oh yeah, like the engine's
Crooked.
crooked. Like cockeyed in the engine bay. Which is a possibility. Maybe that's why we fought it so hard. We'll go with that.
I mean, it's showing an inch, about an inch, well, less than an inch in the front.
Which is why it looks pretty straight in the front.
But in the back, it gains
An inch.
an inch. It's weird. But we use a stock cross member.
Yeah, stock cross member, stock engine mounts. Or well, we say stock engine mounts. Stock engine mounts for a Caprice. Which is the same cross member.
I mean, it ain't like we can move it now.
No, because to do that, you'd have to re-drill the cross member. You'd have to...
The exhaust would be wrong.
Yeah, you would have to re-drill down here. Or front, whichever way you could get that inch out of it.
Yeah, 2 inches would require everything going that way an inch.
Yeah. Which would mean re-drilling the motor mount holes an inch.
Nah, I'd just be loosening them up and twisting the motor. I mean, is the drive line that out of square? I don't know. Let's look.
Okay, we're gonna pause you for a minute.
Yeah. Okay, so we were doing some math, and everything we were measuring was showing that the engine was over. It's showing about an inch or so in the front, but on the back it looks even uglier. It's getting closer to 2 inches. So we just was doing some work, some measuring, and the motor is actually in this car about almost an inch and a half to the right, factory. I mean, we just double checked. That transmission is dead center in the tunnel. The drive shaft's dead center. Everything's straight. It's just they put the motor into the right. That's why it does that. I guess. I mean, what are you gonna do about it? Nothing. Nothing. It's just gonna be crooked. So, just so you guys know, if you're gonna put one of these up through your hood, there's a chance it may be a little crooked, but it's not crooked. It just looks crooked. It's like halfway crooked. It's like pretend crooked, right? Pretend crooked. I'm going with it. We don't need that part anymore. Okay, so Zach didn't want me to cut this, but you guys voted. Remember? Good thing you guys voted. We were able to cut the hole in the hood. I think it's pretty perfect, honestly. I need to clean it up a little bit, and we actually got to put it on the hinges and make sure it clears when it lifts, because I may have to do a little bit more work back here. I left a little extra just for that, but I think it'll be fine. Then I'm going to run a little bit of that weather stripping around to make it look nice. But really, it's just a matter of getting it on the hinges and trying it and making sure it all works. And if it all clears good, we're going to leave this one alone. I mean, this thing, that really just changed the looks of the whole wagon. I'm pretty impressed with that so far, Zach.
Yeah.
We're getting there, guys. I think we're definitely going to call it a night tonight. And tomorrow night, after I get out of work, what we'll probably do is we'll clean up the hood. Maybe I'll pick up some paint, something to put paint up underneath it, black. And I'll get the stripping stuff, put some strip around it to make it nice and clean looking. Put the trim back on, and put it back on and give it a try. But I'm pretty stoked. That really just changed the whole looks of this wagon. That's just wild. Welcome back and good afternoon. So, I'm just getting back in from work for the day. I got changed into my official YouTube uniform. And we're going to take off from where we left off last night. So, we had it bolted on, you know, and we got to cut this thing started. I think we did kind of do last night. We kind of screwed around with a few things. I got this guy bolted on. So that comes with the kit. You just bolt it on to wherever it works on your carburetor. Mine worked into this little piece here, okay? And obviously this ain't adjusted yet. We got to deal with that after. And then, the only other thing I did too is we got brackets that we're going to use to keep it from going back and forth. So I actually drilled and tapped these to fit these extra carburetor studs I have here. And I'm gonna cut some spacers to space it down and then bolt it in instead of trying to make a whole new piece. Because again, this is going to change again, so I just don't want to go through all that building and rebuilding and triple building and 83 buildings and stuff like that. So, without further ado, what we're going to do is we got our little angly bracket, okay? So we're just going to put that in there like that. And then we're going to fire up old taping tape, the tape measure. And I'm going to measure up in here and see what I need for spacing. So, now, I'm going to have to push that down. And that looks to be 1 inch and 1/8. So, I'm going to go cut me a spacer for that. And we got to do one for the other side as well. So, let's go over there and measure that one real quick before I go cut the spacers. I'm just not gonna. It's like 7/8. Okay. So I'm gonna go cut these spacers, and we're gonna get this thing bolted down, because once we do that, we can hook up the old wham wham to her. So, okay. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I'm back. So I cut this spacer right here, okay? And what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna feed the spacer up on this like this, okay? And I'm gonna reinstall this guy here. That side first. I guess if I twist it like this. That works. Let me get it on this. Let me get this side on. Probably not. Right there. You know, Zach seems to not always believe in me. Okay, so I'm not exactly sure how this is going to work, but this is a stock one. They gave me a straight rod, and I kind of mimicked it. I just made it tall. So, you're going to hook this on here. Get some wrenches and I'll be back. Okay, now we got everything tightened down. This is all in there, we think. That's good. From what we can tell, it appears to be good. And not catch too badly on anything. So I think there's only one thing left to do now. Let's fire this old girl up and, you know, see how she works. Then we'll finish the hood and put it on. Priorities. Well, I would definitely say that that's a success. I do believe we've added to the overall look of the wagon now. So I'm going to clean up the hood a little bit and get the little rubber around it, and we'll get the hood on it, set back down for the final time. I think this video is going to be good. Like I said, but there's some other really cool stuff coming for this. Maybe over there. Maybe not. You just can't tell about these things. But I'm gonna get the hood wrapped up so we can get it on. As you can see, we finished the install. We're short a little bit of metal, but again, you know, we don't need that. And I do believe that this really, you know, just stepped her up a notch. So this is notch 1 of about 6 that are coming to the old girl, but you know, I felt like it's time to give you guys a little bit of wagon content. And we're excited to, you know, give this thing so much love since coming back from Power Tour and getting her ready for her next event. But yeah, I think this thing came out great. Comes out of the hood just enough. I didn't want like crazy. And I mean, it really just accents the side pipes. Just, you know, it brings it in. I'm trying to say. So how about you guys comment down below what you think? And about some of the other changes you think's coming. If you guys made it to the end of the video, I want to thank you. And I don't know what the next video is going to be. We're going to try to get these out, at least every couple of weeks instead of once every month. Since hopefully we're going to slow down a little bit and the weather's going to start cooling off and such. You guys have a great day, and I hope you enjoyed installing a bug catcher on a wagon. So, peace out, guys.